Hello everyone, welcome to the first video on the Education Always channel for GCSE Biology. In the video today, we will be covering cell structure. This will include cell size, animal cells, plant cells, eukaryotes and prokaryotes, and a small test at the end. The first thing we will be looking at today is cell size. So cells can come in a range of different sizes. Animal cells tend to be between 0.01 millimeters and 0.05 millimeters, whereas plant cells can be slightly bigger, between 0.01 millimeters and 0.1 millimeters. Because cells can be so small, we often use the unit nanometer, which is abbreviated to nm. Again, because cells can be so small, when we write their measurements down, we often use standard form. As you can see on the screen, this is how we write standard form. As you can see, we now have this diagram here, which gives you a rough idea of the size of cells. As you can see on the diagram, the cells are measured using the unit micrometers. That's what the backwards U and M stand for, that is micrometers. Anything smaller than these cells are measured in nanometers, and anything bigger are measured in millimeters. So we are now onto animal cells. All animal cells have the same basic structure that firstly consists of a nucleus. This contains genetic material which controls the cell's activities. Then we have the cytoplasm. This is a jelly-like material that contains dissolved nutrients and structures called organelles, and it also provides a site for chemical reactions to take place. Next, we have the cell membrane. This is essentially the wall of the cell, and it controls the movement of substances in and out of the cell. The mitochondria is where the enzymes needed for respiration are stored. And finally, the ribosomes are where protein synthesis occurs. This diagram now shows you the basic structure of the animal cell. The only thing that isn't labelled is the ribosomes, which are the small purple dots. Now onto plant cells. These have all of the same cellular structures that we discussed before for animal cells, plus a few more. First of all, plant cells have a cell wall. This is there to strengthen the cell and support the plant. Next are the chloroplasts. These are organelles that contain enzymes and chlorophyll. This absorbs light, ready for photosynthesis. And finally, a plant cell has a permanent vacuole. This contains cell sap, which keeps the cell turgid. This essentially just means it keeps the cell swollen. So again, we have a very simple diagram of a plant cell. The only thing that isn't labelled on here are again the ribosomes, which are just the small dots. As you can see, this is very similar to an animal cell, apart from the things we have just covered. So the last topic today is eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Animal, plant and fungi cells are all eukaryotic cells, whereas bacteria cells are prokaryotic cells. This table shows the main differences between eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Both have a cell membrane and cytoplasm. They both have genetic material, however eukaryotic genetic material is stored in the nucleus, and prokaryotic genetic material just floats around in the cytoplasm. As you can see, only eukaryotes have a nucleus, and all prokaryotes have a cell wall, whereas only some eukaryotes have a cell wall. That is now the end of cell structures. To check how well you've picked it up, we now have a small test. So, the first question is, what is the function of a mitochondria? Number 2, where does a prokaryote store its DNA? And number 3, what unit of measurement do we use when measuring smaller cellular structures? The questions will now stay on for 30 seconds to allow you to either write your answers down or think of them in your head, and then the answers will show. Okay, and that's 30 seconds up. Now, the answers. So, the function of the mitochondria is it contains the enzymes needed for respiration. The genetic material in a prokaryote is in the cytoplasm, and the unit we use to measure smaller cellular structures is nanometers. So now, well done everybody, especially if you got all 3 answers correct. If you didn't, maybe it's worth going back to the video just to refresh yourself and make some notes. And that's it for today. Thank you very much to everybody for watching and getting through the video. You're doing really well. Don't forget to like and subscribe for further videos on GCSE Biology and other subjects. Also, if you do have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and we'll reply to them as soon as we can. Thank you again and goodbye.